All right. Hello, folks. This is Coach Q. I am putting together a tutorial on how to add the PKG file for the mod of Madden 25. Yes, I am talking about Madden 25, trying to get the new mod in there, and so that way you can use the guys from that are working on this have done some great work on this. As you can see, they have a Discord called PFB22, Professional Football 22 is what it's called. It kind of gives you the look of most updated Madden there is, but you're using Madden 25. Here are a few things that you need to start out with to download on your desktop to get this mod going. Here is my checkoff sheet. First off, you gotta get a version of RPCS3, and on the same website there as RPCS3, there is a MS Visual C++ 2019 redistributable download as well. You may need that. It says to install that. I did it myself, and I didn't have any problems. The next thing to get is what is called, you may see a error message when you try to start up RPCS3 for the first time, is it's missing a DLL file called Vulkan-1, and this will be the download page that will take you to. It's actually a download page called Mega, so you just download it from there and then you install it, and it clears up that error. Then the next step would be to get the version of the PS3 operating system, which is now 4.89. Again, when you go to the website, you right click on the link, you save it as, do the save as option, and you save it to the location on your computer. And then you go back to the Discord, get the PKG file, download it. There is also a system config file. Don't know if it's necessarily needed in these steps, but if you want to make sure that the RPCS3 will run the mod for Madden 25, you'll need the config file. Then there's a roster out for the 21-22 season that you can add. This is the link to that from the Discord. And to transfer files over easily without having to use a USB jump drive, I use FileZilla. And then there is one more thing after you get everything done. In Operation Sports, there is a set of sliders that have been put out there, and from what I can tell and the feedback that I've seen, these are a pretty good set of sliders to use with Madden 25. And thanks to KVid out there on Operation Sports. Here is the link page to RPCS3. You just go to Windows, click on Download. Takes you to the download page. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not going to download it. But down here, it says Install for Windows. This is where you get your C++ file right there. I've already got this downloaded, so I'm not going to download it. And then over the next spot, this is the Vulkan file that you need, the zip file. You can download it, unzip it, install it if you need it. Not necessarily needed all the time, but from what I've run into, it was needed when I installed the RPCS3 and tried to run it. Then your next option is to get the latest version of PlayStation system software, which is 4.89. Again, if you're using Chrome, you have to right-click on the PS3 update and save as. And it takes you to a download, and so you can download the PUP file. And I'm not going to do that. I already have it downloaded. Now we're going to go back to Discord. Here is the official release, the official releases of the mod. Right there. Click on that. That will get you to a download page. Click on that. Download. Click on that. It's basically a Google Drive, and you can download it from there. The next option here is to get the config file. And again, this is right here. Blues. This was done by one of the guys there on the forum. It's for those that use the newer version of the RPCS3. Updated config file will need to be used for the latest version, so RPS3 will run the game for you if you want to test it out. One more spot on the Discord is the roster file. That's in this one right here. Thanks to 128 1285 Patriots. You put this save file together, and I will show you how to install that later. In FileZilla, use the download client. Click on that button. Click on Download FileZilla. Go with the free version, and then you just download it, save it to your desktop, and download. Again, I'm not going to do that. I already have it installed. And then the last thing, like I mentioned, was the slider settings, the operation supports. Thanks to KVid out here. These are a little bit older, but I have seen and read that recently that some have used these sliders and really enjoy them. So it's worth a shot to try. I haven't tried it yet myself, but we'll be giving it a shot as soon as I get the rest of things set up and ready to go. And I'll have a link to all these in the description down below, and that way it'll be easy to find. All right, folks, we're back here. One thing you'll need to do is make sure you go into your Multiman, go to the main desktop page here, scroll all the way to the left, or actually go to your system settings here, because you'll need to get the IP address to use with FileZilla. That's in your system information systems here, or settings. Again, right there, as you can see, I've got my IP address right there. That's all you need to do. And the other thing down here is go down to FTP service. Make sure you have that set to enable no timeout. That way it is all clear and ready to go. Then you can just pretty much just back out of it right here. Quit Multiman and return to XMB mode. Basically XMB screen. And that's all you need to do to get your make sure it's set up to connect with FileZilla to your PS3. And I'll show you that in a moment on how to connect to your PS3 with FileZilla using the IP address from your PS3. All right. Now we want to start to get things going here. We need to install RPCS3. Open up my folder here that I have everything in. I have RPCS3 right here. It is a zip file, and I have unzipped it. And here's the executable right here. Take just a little bit to come up. When you first open it up, you will probably see a message on there that says we don't recommend pirating. And then there's a couple check boxes on below of that screen. Just go ahead and check on both of those boxes. Sometimes you'll get this update here. I've been told you can do it, but I'm going to skip it. I'm not going to worry about it right now because you don't really need it. Because you'll have the latest version when it comes out, whatever you download. So you have CS3 right there. So then you need in case you get the DLL or for the missing DLL information, that's when you close out RPCS3 and install the Vulkan, which I've got it installed already, so I'm not going to install it, but that's where you'd have it right here. The VC distributable, and then also that's the C++, and the Vulkan is right there. Is up here in this folder right here. You just install those, and then you're good to go. Oop. Too far. So then you take your PS3 PUP file and you drop it into your PS3. It installs the firmware. My version is going to be 4.88. I've already got it installed, so I don't need to install it again. But that's where you would click on yes, and it would go ahead and go through the install process. And so then, what you need to do is open up FileZilla, and this is where you get the game file. Close out of RPCS3. Got FileZilla already open. And you'll need the way you connect to the PS3 is go over here to the host, put in your IP address, and then click on Quick Connect, and it will connect you up. I'm already connected, so it's not going to do it. We'll just kind of delete that. As you can see, we don't have any. The right side is your PS3, left side is your desktop or your computer. Put your IP address in here. Mine was 192.168.1.114. As you see, I already got it in there. Click on Quick Connect. Next time you come in through, you can come down here, click on Quick Connect, or click on this, and it'll connect to you. Go ahead and Quick Connect. As you can see, it connects up to your PS3. And you go to the HDD0 folder here. Go to Games, not to find the PlayStation game that you're looking for. And in this case, it's Madden 25. What you will do, right now it says I'm in the folder, Madden 25 backup folder. Well, I want to go to my desktop. Click that little button there, that'll take you back. As you can see, right here, it's highlighted to desktop. I'm going to copy this game folder, or download it basically. Right click, download. And it will go through the process of downloading all the files from that game folder. This is the game folder that you want to download. And right now, as you can see, it's downloading it to my desktop. This will take some time because it is a very large file, about 7.3 gigabytes, 7.34 to 7.4 gigabytes of data that it's got to download from the game itself. And when that folder gets onto our desktop, what we will do is we will make a backup of it just in case we need to, in case something goes wrong, we can have the backup there. We can reinstall the original files back onto the PS3 in case something goes awry during the whole process. As you can see, it's got 11 files queued up here. This one here is pretty good size here. Not telling me exactly how big it is, but right now we're at 520 megabytes right now, and we're only a third of the way through. There's probably about 1.5 gigs right there. Probably close to 1.6. So it'll transfer everything over into the folder, bring that whole folder over, transfer it over onto the desktop. So really from here, you can't really do much more other than wait to get that onto the desktop. As you can see, we're getting close to the end of the download process here. Once we get that done, we will jump back over to the desktop. And there we go. Minimize FileZilla. And as you see, the file is right here. I have already got a backup of it right here. I just put BKUP at the end of it to make it a backup. We'll set it off to the side over here. Actually, we have to change the file name. So let's bring it back here. We have to change it to the Blues 31178. Take the Madden off of here, that off of there, and change it to that. Like I said, we already have a backup here. We're going to drop that folder into RPCS3. Let's run that here. We have to also, there's a YML config file here we have to delete out every time. Not sure why, but I just do. I go into HDD0. Disk. And drop our Blues folder right in there. Oops. Back out. Run RPCS3. Puts the config YML back in there every time you run it. Hey, looky there, Madden 25. Skip the RPC there. Says there's some updates available. It's trying to run the game here. I don't think it's going to work very well. My computer's not very fast to run it, so I'm going to quit. But it will run if I do it right. I'm not going to worry about getting the update. I will do that when I run the game itself. So then you gotta do a couple other things to get here. Right click on configuration here. Right click on it. Custom configuration. Create or change custom configuration. Go to the GPU tab. Not sure if I really need to do this or not. If you're going to run it on RPCS3, yes. But if you're going to put it on the PS3, you really don't need to. But I just went through the same steps just to be on the safe side. You go to the GPU tab. You have to make sure the shader mode is there. And also with white color buffers down here for additional settings. Apply those. Close. Then you right click. Again, you go to Open Custom Config folder. And this is where you drop in the config file. That I have. We will go back up on here. That's this right here. Config file. Drop it in over here. As you see, I've already done it. Have it there already. That's to help it run on. If you don't have the config file in there, it won't run on the RPCS3 very well. Drop that in there. Close that out. So we'll close it out one more time. Open our RPCS3 up again. Oops, it is. Get the update. Now we will drop in the PKG file. The Pro 22 PKG file. Drop that in. Click on yes to install. And watch it install. Might take a little bit. As it installs, it's a pretty decent sized file, so as you can see over here, 7.34 gig file, so it's going to take a little while to install. And just like your game file was pretty good size when you downloaded it. You'll know when the PKG file is up and ready to go when it gets done installing, and your icon at the top next to the right here, Madden, will change, as you will see. As you can see, we're just about done downloading here. I skipped ahead a little bit. PKG file is now installed. As you can see, icon changed to the new mod for the icon. And so, now what we need to do, close out RPCS3, go back into the folder here, RPCS3. Go to our HDD0 folder. Go to disk and pull that out to our desktop again. And we will rename that to the original file that we had. Minimize this here. We rename this. We had it up here. I'll just kind of copy and paste. There we go. And now we got back to the original file. So then we have to take our game file here, which is now our new game file with the PKG mod update into it. Go back to FileZilla here. Go to our desktop here, which we are on. Find our file. Right there. And we'll bring that, we will copy that back over to our Madden, to our games file. That is the exact same one we just took. We will copy this, or just drag and drop. Click on Always right here. You want to replace all the files. Didn't show this earlier, but as you can see, there are quite a few files right here. 13 files to be loaded. As you can see, they are relatively good size. Now this is 1 gig, this is 2.1 gig, 600 meg, 1.7 gig, a little over 1 meg, 2 megs there, 1.5 gig. These here go pretty fast. This one's 642 meg. So then you just gotta let this transfer back over to your PS3. It'll take a little while because they're transferring more than one at one time. Once it gets connected and going, and boom, it's gonna take off. Depending on the speed of your laptop and the PS3 connection, probably not gonna be super fast, but you just gotta be patient and let it run its course. And the files will get all on there. I'm going to just skip this part for now. Alright, we are done downloading the game file back to our PS3. Now we're going to check to make sure that it starts up. I use Webman. Plug my controller in here. As you can see, I got a few games on here. Eventually you'll see wrong game. There we go. Hey, look at there. There it is right there. There it is.
It's in the game.
It's starting up. One way we'll be able to tell is if when we go into it, we'll be able to see some new graphics in there with the mod that's been installed. And once we just go through this, it's just to double check. We will go back and install the roster file just to make sure. That way you can see. The game does an automatic save for you. Don't worry about that, because EA servers are no longer online for it. And let's go over here. As you can see, there's some update. Hey, there you go. See Tom Brady. There it is right there. Tom Brady with the Bucks. There's the Bengals. Can't do any more shared files anymore because this server's no longer there. Then rosters. As you can see, there's the new Rams helmet logo. See the roster file here, which will show. Let's go to Bengals. As you see, this is the old roster file. Got Josh McCown, Blanchard. That's Bears, not Bengals. There you go. It's got Josh Johnson, Andy Dalton, Zach Robinson, Shelton. That is the old roster. So we will get out of the game here. We shall quit. And we'll flip back over to my desktop here. We'll open up my folder here. Back up here. The save folder, which has the roster in it. Oops, there we go. There is the roster data right there. I backed up the original just to be on the safe side. I've done this once before. And here, I took a screenshot of where that goes to. As you can see, it goes into the HDD0 home. In my case, it's the number 2 slot, save data, Blues roster. For the roster file, you have to go in here and save a roster first before you can change it. So as you're in the game, you go to Custom, go to Manage Files, Save Files, go over to Roster, Create New. Let's call this Test. Creates a roster file in your Save Data Utility folder. Back out of that. We'll go back to my desktop here. Hang on one moment. Go. There's the test folder right there. Go in here. Copy your folder. Copy your files from the revamp folder. Here, test. It's always there. Pause them quick. All right. Something about this, you can still be back to the game here. We'll go manage, upload this time. If you were not uploaded, there's my test file, test folder. Load it. Normally you don't have to load the folder. Load this. But if you have it saved, it will go to, this is, you see got the commanders there. Go to the Bengals. And as you'll see, you got Joe Burrow on there and the other ones. So it's got the latest rosters in. That is how you do that.